What if I told you that you won't amount to anything, that you absolutely suck? Why even try? Because honestly, dude, just let it go. Your ambitions, they're too big. I don't even know why you're even thinking that you all that, because wow, those words really don't sound good, right? And especially because you don't even know who I am. So it's like, who are you to tell me that I'm not good enough? Like, who are you actually? You just started YouTube, right? So it's very scary to hear these words coming from a stranger, but we don't find it scary when these words come from ourselves. And most of the time, this is how we actually talk to ourselves when we're too afraid to take a chance on ourselves, whether it may be learning a new skill like art or learning how to talk a new language or learning just simple maths in general. Whatever it is that you want to learn, sometimes we talk ourselves out of the process of actually getting to that point where we're like, okay, there's some improvement, there's progress. And even if we do fail, it is a part of life, but we don't even get to that point where we fail and we learn from our mistakes. And that's actually what brings me to the topic that I want to talk about today, guys. The topic of today is self improvement. The previous video that I recorded was on self awareness, and I was just briefly talking about the importance of checking in with yourself before deciding to create something. So, this is for all the artists out there. Those of you who want to get started with your art career, or those of you who feel stuck. This is for those of you who feel like maybe, I might be good or have the potential of executing certain things within like creating art, but you feel like you always get in your own way. And I completely get it because I used to get in my own way as well. I used to have these ambitions that I would be a great illustrator or just a great artist in general, but I'd find myself sitting at my desk or table or even laying on my bed because I couldn't even get myself to go and sit on the desk and pick up a pencil and just start sketching. But I'd already talked myself out of it before even getting to that point. And I just always ask myself, why is it? Why is it that I'm not where I want to be? And to be quite honest, the only person that I could blame was myself. So a big part of self improvement, right, is taking accountability that you have actually let yourself down before. And or if it's a current thing, you're letting yourself down right now. So I guess the way I peeled back, you know, that layer of trying to understand why is it that I'm letting myself down, I just kept asking that question, and it's actually funny that I'm saying why. Why am I saying these things? So it's in the question why, right? It's in the question why, asking yourself why constantly until you get to the root of it. And when I was asking myself why constantly, and even after answering a question, I'd be like, okay, then why is this happening? I actually realized that, wow, this stems from like childhood, feeling like I'm not good enough, feeling like I always had something to prove, even if no one was literally sitting on my neck telling me, do this, do that. I just felt like there was so much pressure to be the best. And I also guess it's because I grew up in a household where initially creating art was seen as a hobby and not as a career. So I was kind of panicking on the inside, thinking to myself, what on earth am I going to pursue? Seeing that I want to become a fashion designer, I want to do illustrations and all that jazz. But, I think because, being of a younger age, being zealous is it's more likely when you're younger. I think just being a kid, there's something about being a kid. Sometimes you just have that bravery, and you just have that outlook that things are just going to work out. And as you grow older, obviously your dreams get shut down. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but have you ever tried to pursue something and then your dreams get shut down, like your parents or your friends or the people that you thought would have your back tell you that it's impossible, or that that's not a career, that's just a hobby. So I just found myself blocking all the noise away. And thankfully, my parents saw that I was very serious, that I wanted to pursue fashion, right? That's what I initially wanted to study. I wanted to become a fashion designer. So that was the first time ever realizing that when I stick to my guns, when I stick to something that I really believe in, even though people don't initially believe me at first, they will start believing me through the actions, through the consistent improvement of my own skills. So them being able to see the progress with their own eyes, that helped me also realize that, okay, maybe sometimes don't second guess yourself that much. So if you guys can relate to that part, I would really appreciate it that you hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you relate to this, if you've ever gone through this, if you're currently going through this, and if you feel like there's someone else that you can share this information with. Maybe someone needs to hear this, maybe someone needs to feel like they're not alone. But having that said, we can talk on and on about the fact that self-improvement is important, but I just felt like I wanted to share 5 pointers that could actually help you guys get started in your art career, or 5 pointers, these same 5 pointers could help you continue. Because as much as you start a journey, continuing, so the consistency, that's another discussion on its own. So the first tip that I have for you guys is art is an actual relationship. So in my previous video, self-awareness, I actually spoke about how it's important to check in with yourself, right? And by that I mean, ask yourself, how do you feel? Are you well? Are you happy? If you're not, then try and find out and address the underlying issues, because most of the time we don't find inspiration because we are low-key thinking about things that might make us feel like we're less than, or that we're incapable, or that what we're doing is not of importance, So that's why it's so important to treat art like it's an actual relationship. Because once you do this, you realize that relationships can be like that sometimes, especially if you're afraid to start a new relationship, or you've been in one and you don't know how to revive the relationship, right? So you constantly have to check in with your relationship, and check in with yourself, and check in with where you are in terms of your skill set, in terms of if you wanted to start an art career, within your art career. And when you treat it like a relationship and you ask those questions, that's how you can resolve certain issues or things that might be in the way of you having any progress. The second point is ignite the spark, right? Like I just mentioned in the first point, treat art like a relationship. But like I said, art, because it's like a relationship, sometimes it's a relationship that you're afraid to start, or it's a relationship like mine where you've been in it for 15 years. Like, I've been an artist for over 15 years now, and I constantly have to ask myself, okay, if I don't have any inspiration right now, what could it be? Is it because I need to upskill myself, so learn a new skill or improve on a skill? Or is it because, I don't know, like, I just ask myself those questions, or perhaps maybe I'll realize, okay, let me give myself a challenge. So I'm going to do a 30-day art challenge where I'm sketching every day. It's going to be this and this and this. So that's how you ignite the spark between you and your art, right? So you don't get bored. So you constantly challenge yourself, and you make it a little bit more interesting, like the very first time you ever started painting or sketching, right? So that's what I mean by ignite the spark. Okay, the third point is trial and error. Like I mentioned earlier in this video that it's okay to fail, right? And if I didn't, because I've been talking, it's okay to fail. So it's okay to fail, it's okay to try things, and it's okay not to know everything, right? So similarly with a relationship, a relationship with your partner, or a relationship with yourself, you need to be very patient with yourself and very patient with your partner, because you don't know what might make them happy or angry. You don't know if what you're trying to do that's different is really going to impress them like that. But at the end of the day, you are trying. And that's the aim of it all. So the aim is to just try, because through those trials and errors is where you'll actually realize, okay, what's the best approach or what's the best thing for me moving forward, right? So that's trial and error. And then the fourth point is self-reflection, right? So after treating art like a relationship, figuring out that you have to actually ignite the spark. Number 3, trial and error. So try as many things as you can and figure out what you like best. And then 4, self-reflection. Self-reflection is about reflecting on all those things that I just mentioned, right? Including the fact that you need to reflect on where you are. So where is your headspace when you're creating this art piece? And I'd like to say, sometimes when you're in a bad mood, creating art can be so therapeutic. So I'm not saying that anguish and sadness cannot be a source of inspiration, but I just find that it's harder creating when you're coming from a place like a heartbroken place, or a place where you feel like there's no point to do anything, right? So reflect not only on yourself, but on the relationship and the things that you've tried to ignite the relationship. And the 5th one is literally simple, and it encompasses everything that I just mentioned. It's just take action. So I don't know what kind of action you guys would like to take, but hopefully it will be a combination of everything that I just mentioned. But also you can pick, maybe this week you want to ignite the spark. Maybe you want to start a challenge for yourself. Or maybe you don't necessarily want to do that same challenge. You want to try something totally different, which is a trial and error to see how it goes. Whatever it is, just remember to take action. So this is just literally a reminder that taking action, whatever it may be, if you feel like it's moving in the right direction for yourself, just take it and see where it leads you. But also, if you want to take action where you're watching another video of someone else explaining how to do certain things, how to improve, then do that as well. Whatever it is, do it. Like, before I carry on, guys, hit the thumbs up, for taking action. Hit the thumbs up for those of you who wake up every morning and realize that you have no choice but to take action. You have no choice but to develop a better relationship with yourself. If not, why would you be listening to these chats right now? So thumbs up for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching thus far. But basically, I wanted to say, this is what I would literally say to myself. And it's funny because I would say these things to myself, but not realize that I'm actually helping myself build a better relationship with my creativity. And when I actually reflected on everything, it got me to a point where I was like, okay, I can actually write these things in point form. I can write these things in point form because looking at creating in this way, it makes it so important for me to create every day. Even if it's something small, it just compounds and it adds to like the end goal, which is my goal of becoming the best illustrator that I can ever be. So, guys, I don't know what your goals are. I really don't know whether you just want to do it as a hobby. I don't know if maybe a friend told you that, you could be a good artist, or whoever gave you that idea. But whatever you feel like you are destined to do, and you feel like it could really inspire other people, it could really get you out of your own head, and it could give you some power back, then I really feel like you should do it. Because honestly, my drawing skills were never like this. I could never just draw like this. I could never feel this confident to even customize sneakers in front of people. I could never just be that confident. Like, it just doesn't happen overnight. And that's another thing that we just really need to understand. Ne? Things take time. Oh, excuse me. Things take time. And as much as we give time to people on Love and Hip Hop and all these other TV shows, like we're so quick to be other people's fans, but we're not our own fan. Like we're not our own cheerleader. And it's so crazy because those people, they also were in a position where they thought, will I ever make it? Is there freedom? Is there anything like someone noticing me for my gifts, like for what I can offer? Like, am I really valuable? These people ask themselves the same question. It's just that it's with social media and everything, it's so quick to see the great life, the limelight, and the nice part of things, but we don't see the inner speech, the inner talk. We don't see the inner motivation. We don't see these people waking up every morning convincing themselves that they are the best, they are on top. Please hit a thumbs up if you believe that. Like, deep down inside, no matter what, you truly believe that you are it. You've got the it factor, you've got the potential. Hit a thumbs up because you know that you deserve to give yourself a chance, right? And that's basically all I wanted to talk about, guys. There's literally nothing else. I'll just recap the points. So, number one, treat art like an actual relationship. Number two, ignite the spark. Number three, trial and error. Number four, self-reflection. And number five, take action. Those are the steps that I have, guys. Those are the steps that I I use for myself, just so I can get things done, just so I can realize that even on a bad day, I must still be there for my art. And of course, you'll see when you treat things like this, you'll realize in life, what do you actually want to pursue and what don't you want to pursue. So yeah, I think it will also help with clarity in general. But thank you guys once again for watching my video. Thank you so much. I hope you guys hit the thumbs up because I want people who really need to hear this to hear this. You don't suck. You only suck if you think you do, okay? But literally, you are what you think you are. So be careful of who you think you are. Be mindful. Be very, very mindful of who you think you are and what you're actually capable of, because those things will really affect your progress. And I don't want anybody getting shocked as to why they're not progressing within certain things, because I mean, we all know if you really want to make it, of course, time and sometimes a bit of luck plays into it and everything, but there's a lot of effort that goes behind creating something special. But you have to believe that you are worthy of that you are truly special enough to be able to create that. Thank you once again. Subscribe, like, comment, share, like. But thank you once again, guys. My name is Jules and I'm an artist. This is my channel, Make Art Bae, where I'll be sharing some art tips, guys, but these are not any regular tips, okay? These are tips I feel like will really help you improve how you approach art, because that's the key to getting started, or the key to continuing, right? But yeah, remember that you're worth it, guys. You're really worth it. And have a great day, guys, and don't forget that you too can make art, bae.